Hi, this is Kevin Dolan with a case study about how to go from zero to $250,000 in 7 days. It's what we did for my client, Ryan Scala, and I'd like to share the details with you right now. This case study is going to be very relevant for you if you're currently selling a high ticket service, especially if you need to build trust quickly with prospective clients. You're delivering outstanding results for your clients. If not, if you're not delivering win-win outcomes for people, these ideas won't help you because they'll only spread the word about how bad you are. You can identify strongly with clients, especially if you have personally benefited from what you're selling them. And finally, if you want more new clients fast and you're willing to try direct mail, if you can say yes to any of those statements, please pay close attention because this case study is going to show you how we revolutionized and scaled the marketing for a business that was in trouble. If you're worried that your marketing has stopped working, you can benefit immediately from what you're about to see here. So a quick bit of background. Ryan Scala owns a real estate investment company that buys houses, which he then rents out. He's very good at what he does, and his clients are very happy with the outcomes they get by selling their properties to Ryan, and that's very important. You need to deliver similar results for your clients, or again, this is not going to help you. When Ryan came to us, he was in trouble because his business partner, the sales guy in the business, had just left. And Ryan didn't want to be involved with selling because that's not where his strengths were. So his sales were effectively zero when he came to Client Cloning Systems for help. And here's what happened next. We followed a process that was, we put together a three-part promotion to persuade people to contact Ryan and sell him their properties. Part one was a story selling letter mailed to a list of qualified prospects, and we got the names from publicly available data. Parts two and three were two follow-up letters mailed to the same prospects a few weeks later. Now you may be wondering, what is story selling? Well, after interviewing Ryan by phone, as we do with all our clients, it became very clear that Ryan knew exactly what problems his prospects were having because he had experienced and solved the same problems himself. So we simply used Ryan's own story to sell his service, which worked incredibly well. Now, why do stories work so well, and why did it work so well in this instance? Because humans are conditioned to pay eager attention to stories from a young age. If you just think about your own childhood, anytime someone says, let me tell you a story, or once upon a time, boom, they have your complete attention. So by wrapping a sales message inside of Ryan's story, we were able to bypass sales resistance in the minds of his prospects. And here's one example from the story selling letter that we did for Ryan. This is just a half a page of copy. You don't have to read everything here, but the headline tells you a lot, why I can help you and others can't. And then this statement here kind of highlights what you need to look at first in this page of copy. Unlike anyone else who may be giving you advice, I've been where you are now. I understand your problems because I'm a landlord and I've been burned by bad tenants myself. Now, this was kind of a hot button, emotional hot button to press for his prospects because most of his clients were accidental landlords. They were stuck with properties they didn't want, and they were getting screwed over by their tenants who weren't paying. Some of these people were behind on their mortgage payments. They were in trouble. Well, Ryan had been through all of those problems before. So this, along with several other pages of the letter, which really told Ryan's story, resonated incredibly well with his audience, and it got a huge response. In fact, here are the results in Ryan's own words. He said, after we started testing the sales letter that you worked on for us, the phone started to ring, people started to call with stuff for sale, and it started to work automatically. In the last 7 days, I've got $250,000 in cash and equity that are lined up as a result of the work that we've done with you. I was looking at my stats last night and I was shocked. I was in a state of disbelief because those are not typical numbers for me. So, wow, I couldn't be happier with the work that you've done for us. So the initial revenue and equity from our first series of mailings was $250,000 in only 7 days. And that's not bad, but it gets much better. Ryan now has more autonomy, security, and profits because he no longer has to depend on or share revenue with a partner. The direct mail does all the selling he used to pay his partner for. That's a great little bit of freedom and a whole lot of extra profits for Ryan. Second, by sending his best sales message to hundreds of people with direct mail, we predictably scaled Ryan's business. It was simply a numbers game. All we needed were names to mail to, and boom, the sales resulted. And Ryan continued to make profitable deals with the same mailing list because we didn't give up after the first series of 3 mailings. We mailed them continually for 14 months. And in fact, the total revenue to date, when this project ended and turned into a different phase, it was over $730,000 in cash and equity that came to Ryan in just over 14 months or so. And here's a quick summary again of Ryan's client Ryan's comments rather about the project. But to sum it up in a few words, I couldn't be happier. That's what he said, and that's what we delivered for Ryan, just using story selling. So your takeaways here, there are three of them. Number one, if you have a strong affinity with your target audience, you're in a perfect position to speak their language, win their trust, and sell like crazy. It's what Ryan did. This affinity strategy, by the way, this strategy of having a personal connection with your marketplace costs you $0 to implement. All you need is an effective story, which leads to number two. By wrapping your sales message inside a story, you can bypass sales resistance in the minds of your prospects. It's just like flying a B-2 bomber that's invisible to radar. Very powerful and very, very profitable. And number three, it's never been easier to reach prospects by mail than it is today. That's because there is less competition in the mailbox today compared to Facebook or email, where competition is exploding. So if your product or service sells for at least $1,000, you really must consider direct mail. So what's next for you? Number one, you can do nothing with these ideas. I hope that's not you. Number two, you could choose to implement them yourself. Take the time to learn copywriting and master direct mail. If you're already good at it, terrific. If you're already a pro at direct mail and you've had good experience, terrific. You can implement them yourself. Or number three, you can get my feedback and then decide if you want to do it yourself, or you can get my help on a project. And if you'd like to take that next step, you can just simply click the link below this video now to book a call, a discovery call. You and I can talk for up to 30 minutes and let's just discuss what's possible for your business, and then you decide. And you may want to know a bit more about me before you get on the phone. So I'd like to tell you a quick bit of background, and then we'll close. Since 1998, my team and I have helped more than 1,270 entrepreneurs get more clients like their best clients. And why should you listen to me? Well, briefly, I've been marketing online since 1994 when I sold one of the very first ebooks. It was called How to Find a Job on the Internet. The selling price was $10, and you had to mail me a check. It's a very long story. I may tell it to you sometime in a video, but shortly after that, I became webmaster for FedEx.com from 1995 to 1998, where I worked with the pioneers of online marketing. I worked alongside some certified geniuses at FedEx. So I really have a grounding in online marketing. I learned from the very best and the smartest people around since the inception, really, of online marketing. And since then, I've been the author or co-author of 5 books, including 21 Ways to Get More Clients and Marketing Multipliers, both of which are available on Amazon and in major bookstores. And speaking of books, I was featured in Dan Kennedy's book, No BS Branding, with 2 of my sales letters and success stories from 3 of my clients. So words got around that I'm pretty good at what I do. I've been doing it, for over 20 years, and I haven't been having 20 years of the same year experience. By the way, I've been learning and progressing and growing every year for 20 years. That's been my pleasure, and it's been my honor in the work that I do. And since then, of course, since I started back in the 90s, I've been interviewed by Fox 9 News. That's where this screen captures from. ABC TV Detroit, NBC TV, CBS Radio, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Chicago Tribune, Fortune Magazine, Entrepreneur Magazine, and too many others to list here. So that's a quick bio on me, and I'd love to share more ideas with you on the phone and discuss your business in detail. And then you decide if it's a good idea for you to implement these ideas yourself or work with us. So please, I invite you to click the link below this video to schedule a discovery call now, and we can talk about what's possible in your business. And I want to thank you for watching, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.